Welcome to the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions. I'm Jan Hall from Folk Roots Radio. Canadian songbird Nicole Lisa Craig has a deep love for the music of the 60s and the 70s, and artists like Joan Baez, Gordon Lightfoot and Joni Mitchell. She's also studied classical music and performed with symphony orchestras and bands on both the French horn and the flute, before deciding to take up the acoustic guitar. Now, Nicole released her third album, Lift, under her former stage name of Nicole Coward earlier in 2017. It's a beautiful recording that blends the emotion and dynamics of classical music with the storytelling of folk on a selection of her own songs and some well-chosen covers. She's our special guest in the studio today. She's coming up right now. Enjoy.
Tips flash gold. September rain like falling snow. You ask if it's beautiful, when is it not? Does something disappear because it's dark? What will become of our ways? Insights from tranquil days. The master runs swiftly round the corner. His colors spread above the concrete jungle. Wretched man smokes a cig in the alley. So the rest of life goes on beyond the concrete valley. What will become of our ways? Insights from tranquil days. The sun shines above and below the dark cloud, reaching out as if to clutch onto something thorough, but letting go, it sinks deep below, only to turn again as morning glow. What will become of our ways? Insights from tranquil days. Oh, what will become of our ways? Insights from tranquil days. Ooh. woke one night to hear them talking, and he thought he would go see what was happening. She said she thought that she was dying. Dreams she had was so frightening. Poor soul 164 could not take any more. They were sitting at the edge of the bed. He held her in his arms and said he loved her just like all the years before. He will forevermore. He's always there by your side, step by step. They take their time. Love that's lasted through all these years. Devotion so strong that it brings me to tears. Now it's the 70th anniversary, a rare celebration in anyone's history. Letters in commemoration from the Queen, for they never like to make a big scene. But he still holds her in his arms and says he loves her just like all the years before. He will forevermore. With all the petty problems we have in our days, the story humbles them all with simple grace. In a world where we prioritize the money and objectives, a story like this puts it all into perspective. Talking with my grandma just the other day, she said she's in pain, surgery would be in vain. She knows she needs to go to make room for new little ones to grow and take over. But he still had her in his arms and said he loved her just like all the years before. He will forevermore. Des yeux qui font baiser les miens, un rire qui perd sur sa bouche. Voilà la beauté sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qui me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi. Ma pluie dans la vie, il me l'a dit, là j'irai pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour ne peut finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place. Les ennuis, les chagrins s'effacent, heureux en mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qui me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Ça me fait quelque chose. Il est rentré brille dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, il me brille dans la vie, une maladie, lâcherai pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. Na 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 na. Seasons pass by, how quickly they come, and what have you done? They will be passed on and seen in your great-grandchildren's eyes. What do you think they would say if they told you right now, if they're proud of what you did with your day? So why don't you care? Don't you dare do what you know that you should do. Keeping your light closed up, well, that seems so sublime until you open those blinds. That light of truth will shine. Will it make you go blind? Or do you even dare? Or do you even care? 'Cause it might take you somewhere. So why don't you care? Don't you dare do what you know that you should do. For crying out loud, look up and get the hell off that comfy spot and make a difference. Help your neighbor, oh, understand your sister. Talk to your father, yeah, listen to your teacher. Forget who's better and let's take it further for each other. So don't you care? Don't you dare do what you know that you should do. What does a creature need to have for you to care? Why does it need to walk up the stairs or to wear underwear? Have you looked in the eyes of another who's living their last days? Can your care really wait? Oops, and you forget to pray. So why don't you care? Don't you dare do what you know that you should do.
That's Nicole Coward live in the Quantum Sound production studio in Kingsville. We've been taping an edition of Parlour Coffee House Sessions. It's great to have you join us today.
It's great to be here.
Now, you have a fascinating story, and I got to say, as someone who does radio, I love to learn more about people's story about how they get into music. But one of the things I found most interesting about yours, although you're here today and you're playing guitar, is that you're actually a classically trained musician, and you've been playing, French horn and flute, I think. And I understand you still play a little bit of symphonic music, is that right?
I could. I mean, the French horn is in the closet
Oh,
collecting
okay.
dust.
Yeah.
But if I brought it out, I could still play it. But I started off on piano and flute, and I studied classically for many years. And French horn, I played in symphonic orchestras for a while, actually. And I went to the University of Toronto, and I studied at the Royal Conservatory of Music on French horn as well. So.
Now, that comes through in your music. I mean, there is a deliberateness to it that actually I really find engaging. But tell us how you decided that you wanted to develop a career as a singer-songwriter as well, because that is fascinating.
I've always loved music. So growing up, my father played in a folk group. He actually played in the first folk group that was formed in Prince Edward County. And he was the first folk group to start playing folk music in churches back then in that area. So it was a big step. So, I grew up watching my father play guitar and singing, these folk songs. And I was always mesmerized by this. I thought, what a cool thing. But for some reason, I just started on flute and piano. It was easy. I had this little keyboard that we bought at a garage. So just easier instruments to start with. And I could never sing in front of people. I was way too shy. Growing up, I was so scared and so shy. I would shake. My voice would shake. And I tried it once or twice, and then I gave up for many years. Probably not until I was about 30 years old that I could start singing in front of people. And I guess it took that much time to get a thick skin, to get the confidence, to be able to do what I'm doing now, to play guitar and to sing and write songs and perform. I grew up in the 90s, and I listened to Green Day, one of my favorite bands. I listened to a lot of alternative rock, and a little bit of that has come out, especially in my new album, Lift. So there's a classical background, there's the folk music, there's the alternative rock from the 90s, and it's hard to pick a genre for my album, basically.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I noticed that in the way you write is that has that alternative feel to it. It's not linear, that you'll sometimes, change the way you put things together. Does that feel really freeing for you to be able to bring all these diverse influences together in your music?
Yes, absolutely. I've released 3 albums. My 3rd album, Lift, just came out this year. This album I produced myself, and I recorded at my house. So I could do whatever I wanted, and it was completely freeing. It was one of the most freeing and creative experiences I've had in my life. I just let myself do whatever I felt flow through me. I let it out, and I recorded it, and I sent it to my sound engineer, and this is what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to call it later, but this is what's coming out. So.
And Lift, is that a reference to the fact that, you talk about the connectedness, the authenticity of that you obviously bring to your music? That's obviously a very important thing, and certainly it came through listening to the album, is that you really want to try and help people make change. I mean, that's one of the neat things about listening to music, is that it can produce that, or bring forward the opportunity for change in the listener.
It's exactly what I want to do with this album and with my music in general. Music is the reason why I'm still here. It literally saved my life one day.
Wow.
And it saved the life of people that I know who are very close to me. I get really emotional talking about this.
That's great for you to share that.
Because I used to deal a lot with depression going through my 20s. And a lot of people in this world are dealing with depression, and it's a really, really tough thing to deal with. And it was music that gave me a reason to keep going. And it's the reason why I called my album Lift, because the description of Lift is that it takes you somewhere else.
Right.
And music does that. It takes
Absolutely.
you somewhere else, and almost always to a better place. So it's so important that we have music, and that you're doing this here and you're promoting music. And it's just, the arts in general is something that takes us somewhere else, to a more beautiful place. So.
You've given me one of those goosebump moments that I love. In any interview I do, I always like that little nugget that makes me think, oh yeah, that's it. That's the special thing that I wanted to hear from the person I was talking to. Tell us a little bit about the people, though, that collaborated with you on this new album. I think some of them you play with quite regularly.
Some amazing people. First of all, David Henman, who's a co-founder of the band April Wine, an incredible guitarist and an incredible person, has come into my life, and he's been coming to a lot of live shows with me. He performed on my new album Lift and just been so supportive. And when you play with such talent like that, it just brings your music to life in a new way. It's just incredible. I've also played with Rick Haynes.
Now, today you are playing solo. You have the benefit of a harmonizer. Do you often play solo, or do you tend to try and find someone to play with you? I mean, I imagine it's probably the answer to that question is it depends where you're playing. But
yes,
yeah,
that's true. Well, I'm now doing this full time. It was a dream of mine to do music full time, and now I'm doing it. And it's difficult to bring a full band with you financially, and sometimes when you're traveling so crazily all over the place, it's just impossible. So mostly I play solo. But sometimes when it's a big show, then I will bring a band in for sure. So
now you sang a song in French for us today, your version of La Vie en Rose from Edith Piaf. Do you like to try and stretch and do other things with some of the covers you choose?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with this new album, Lift. I did La Vie en Rose in French, and I did Gracias a la Vida in Spanish. So I sang in 3 languages on this album, so definitely a stretch. But I love singing in other languages. They're just such beautiful languages to sing in. So.
If people come to a Nicole Coward show, what can they expect?
An emotional roller coaster ride, for sure. And just a lot of people say that my music touches their soul. It's just so deep. I'm such a deep person, and I can't hide that. And I'm not going to hide that as a musician anymore. So people really feel things when they come to my show. It's, I guess I could say, a spiritual experience.
Right. 3 albums into your career. You're now doing this full time. What is the future going to bring?
Oh, well, we've been touring all across Ontario many, many times. You're just saying we came from Toronto, but before that we were actually in Quebec just yesterday, and here we are, way down near Windsor. So we do that a lot, me and my husband. We do this full time, always in our minivan touring. But next year we plan to go all the way to the East Coast. David Henman has said he's going to join us, so we're going to go on a tour out there. And hopefully we will go across Canada and eventually internationally touring as well.
That sounds like very exciting. It's been great to have you in the studio. You have 1 song left to play. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play Blink of an Eye from my new album Lift.
And tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, Blink of an Eye is a song about, like I just said, living the life of your dreams. Like what I'm doing now, playing music is just such a dream, and there's nothing like it. And there's a lot of people out there who will tell you, oh no, that's too hard, don't do that, you should do this, you should do that. And there's just too much of that going on. We really need to listen to ourselves and follow our own dreams.
It's been great to have you join us in the studio. This is Nicole Coward with A Blink of an Eye in the Sun Parlour Coffee House Session studio. Enjoy.
They own you. Do you need proof? Look at all that you use and you're abused because you let them. So wake up and be amused. Rock this world with all your sense of joy and all your troubles, and angels will follow you on this magical journey of will and deceit and fate will meet when we've all come to see how we can be. But life can go by in the blink of an eye. So why not try, just try try to make your dreams come alive. So what, we're almost done, but what about that new generation to come? Maybe they want a bit of it before it's gone. But that space between us all, is it small? Is it a wall? How about we break it all down? And we can go around and around and around to the beginning of it all. But life can go by in the blink of an eye. Why not try, just try to make your dreams come alive. It's not time to call defeat, 'cause we can see through those lies and those filthy deeds. Beyond to the truth of who we really are is a light in the dark that dance together. Oh, reach out, reach me, reach you, a plead in this great sea. You will see, you will see, you will see, when you have come to believe in all that you can be. But life can go by in the blink of an eye. Why not try, just try to make your dreams come alive. 'Cause life can go by in the blink of an eye. So why not try, just try to make your dreams come alive.